It's going to get underway. Legends of Six Golds versus Teletubbies, as mentioned,
Yep.
going to Rio for the hard point, and I'm pumped for this.
Yeah, I'm really pumped to see this as well. A 4v4 finally. Guns away. Off to the races these fine gentlemen go. And onto the P1 will sit Legends of Six Gold, as Zeloxides will be the first man. The man to make a play, get himself soaking up that time as Lux will pick up a kill from Tide.
Yeah, and you can see the Teletubbies just struggling to get themselves onto point, and no matter what they throw, they're just not able to get anything from P1, and Legends of Six are saying thank you very much. And I'm not surprised that the Teletubbies are backing down, making sure they're getting ready for that next rotation, but Lala finding a little momentum there. And might find something as Dipsy as well, so maybe a last scrap and a last push to get some ever-needed points. But no, it's just going to be Tinky Winky waiting on point.
Yeah, he's going to be Tinky Winky's going to be waiting, parked the bus onto that point to get those P2 spawns and rotations out of that. Well, he wasn't able to get the time in his hand, but he certainly got the spawn in his favor. So, that being said, Teletubbies will come through and come in hot and try to get themselves acclimated onto the point, not allow that spawn flip to go in vain. But Legends of Six will say, no. Have you read the guide? This is not a way you can stop us, because, well, you put up a wall against them, they'll go right through it, as Y will read the mind of Lala, get a couple of ticks, he'll be traded out in the process. Legends of Six will continue their domination onto the point up until the point where Teletubbies will use those spawns to their advantage, get themselves acclimated to the point, and hopefully, for them at least, enjoy these last 20 seconds of scrap.
Yeah, they do also need to somehow take out Y, and they do so indeed, because that was the only last threat that Legends of Six had in their power. Now, Teletubbies can claim that last 30 seconds. LO6 aren't really going to push into this. They're going to stay back, wait for the next rotation, because there's no point fighting this. There's no point sacrificing lives, giving streaks away to the Teletubbies when realistically, you can just get ready, lock down this next point, and deny Tinky Winky from going for the long rotation. And he's taking the long route indeed, unable to find the kill, and he will be caught on the bridge. And LO6 saying thank you very much for this situation.
Well, thank you very much to that, because not only do they have the point on lockdown, isolating Poe to be the last one alive will eventually get taken out of the process, while Teletubbies also have to take a long and painful journey across both Eskies to get themselves right back onto the point. As you can see right now, the journey is certainly long, and time is certainly not on their side, as well as Legends of Six will continue their lead so far and get so close, ever so close, treading to that 100-point mark. Twinkie Winky will jump onto the point, find himself one, but from behind is Zelok. Yeah, like you said earlier, Hyper, Legends of Six have this point on lockdown.
They really do. Nothing the Teletubbies can do can break the morals of the LO6. And at this rate and the way things are going, I could even predict 100 Club really coming into play, but it's too early to tell. Way too early to tell, because the Teletubbies have found themselves over to the garage, found themselves in a very fine position indeed. They need to be careful of the van, not allow that van to explode into Lala's face, but Dipsy will find none, as Lux will get the early peek and says thank you very much, and now this allows LO6 for a chance to get on point. Tinky Winky does get the denial going, but Y will push on to point, and this is going to be LO6's once again. 100 done. Another 150 to go.
I mean, you gotta love the coordination from Legends of Six. They saw the point, all purple in their name. Lux will lead the charge, get that first kill, like you said, onto Y, onto Y, excuse me, onto Poe, and he wasn't able to really do anything there. So after that, Legends of Six, all the coast is clear, rushed right into the point, took things over, but not for long. Teletubbies will get themselves right back onto the point, take back what was rightfully theirs to start from the setup. But not even a single scrap will be enjoyed on the watch of Legends of Six. We move on to the next point.
Yeah, Teletubbies aren't winning these one-on-one engagements. They lose 9 times out of 10 of them. However, when they are in a group, when they are in more pressured situations, where they have that man advantage, they're winning them all. They are taking advantage and winning them. So they really need to stop going for these one-on-one engagements. Make sure they have the man advantage. Play to your strengths. As you can see, Brickle getting one and able to push onto point. Not yet. They wait patiently around the outside. They just don't know where everyone is. Poe and Tinky Winky and Dipsy really coming alive, and this is what Teletubbies want. And I said 100 club was in the question. I
No.
said too early because they're coming right back.
And the good thing about this point, too, is the Teletubbies, they've got themselves on fire. They're ready to go. They're ready to bring this back right back into their favor. And what better way to do it than on P5? Because right across the street, right across the bridge, if you will, is back where P1 starts. And, well, Hyper, if there's anything you know about P1 is making sure that not only get some time on the point, but also solidifying herself with those P2 spawns, which is exactly what Teletubbies are doing right now. Tinky Winky from the likes of it, unfortunately, is going to get that team kill, but get a kill off of Legends of 6 to not allow reinforcements to arrive just in time. They're at a stalemate right now, Hyper at Eskies.
It's going to be a stalemate, but it's going to be in favor of Teletubbies. They've got next rotation all in their hands, but you need to look at Lux. Lux is playing the spawn flip game. Has it worked? Pause for 2 seconds, dramatic moment. No, immediately Poe goes down south to try and deny the spawns to be flipped, and in doing so, they're still able to hold nicely. Lala getting really aggressive, finds one. He will fall, but Tinky Winky will get a trade back as well. He's getting aggressive and falls as well. So no matter what, Legends of 6 are keeping the pressure going, and finally, Teletubbies backing away, getting ready for the next rotation.
I mean, can you blame him on why that's a second headshot in the row right under the Teletubbies, and he's coming in hot and trying his heart out again through spawns. Lala with a team kill on Twinkie Winky is not something that you want to see, especially now that there's a 1v1 ensuing between Lux and Lala. This has to be won if you're Lala, because you want to make sure that you have spawns and not allow Lux to take that long route, a long wrap. But he's going to opt to say, never mind, just disregard it for now, but that could very well come right back to bite you. Right back in a really strong pain out of that, because, well, he's able to take out Bickle, but all White has been able to infiltrate right onto the point, and eventually, only a matter of time before he's next.
Yeah, and in doing so, that fight from Lux won, and majorly won, because they now have spawns for LO6, and they're going to be very happy with this. Well, why? Having a little snack at the hot dog stand, probably having a wiener or two, and enjoying it all too much, but it's going to be the force of the Teletubbies pushing right on to sight. They will get a brief pause on the time. They will get some momentum, but it's the spawn that's not going to help them, because LO6 will just come straight back, and in doing so, spawns have got flipped at the wrong time, and Teletubbies are miles away. Lux is all the way in their spawns.
He's all the way in their spawns right now, trying to make a play, trying to make something going. Lala will pre-fire boxes, knowing pretty darn well that Legends of 6 will be entering in slowly but surely, but on the other side of the spectrum, extracurriculars will ensue, and Teletubbies will be able to hold their own, defend the point. Y will be the last one alive, and Lala, holy mackerel, this man is on a 3 spree on the point alone. 2 away from a cruise missile to his name. Teletubbies will follow closely behind Legends of 6. Now, Hyper, this isn't a measure of skill. This isn't a measure of coordination and skilled marksmanship. Now it's a measure of seeing when one team do something, you need to be able to answer back. And right now, Teletubby is certainly doing something, taking the lead of their name, leaving Legends of 6 to answer to this call to action, and they do it.
They've definitely made a call, and in doing so, the wipe-off point kind of neglects what you just said briefly. But this gives Teletubbies the opportunity to set up on new. They could go down to the garages, get themselves ready, and you can already see Lala's just waiting patiently around the corner. He will find one, gets traded out by Y, and now there's only one player ready to attack for LO6. While Teletubbies could put the whole force into it. In doing so, it's not going to work. One will fall Disney, but then Poe and Lala and Tinky Winky coming back. And Teletubbies, I spoke too soon. They're here to fight.
Oh, you certainly did, Hyper. And to be honest with you, I am guilty of it myself. I thought this was going to be a little different than it is going right now, but this is as close as you probably will get in a winner's round 1, to be honest with you. 189 and counting to the boys in purple, as Tinky Winky is showing no sign of showing down. Just take a look at how he's moving around right now. He's fired up, and you can certainly tell that, but Legends of 6 have created an opening. Out from boxes come Lux and BBL Bickle looking to create a trade and capitalize on that, but Tinky Winky takes one, is not able to pick up the second, and Lux, well, he'll be able to park himself right onto the point, get those 7 seconds of scrap, and across the map will be Y awaiting for the Sea of Purple to arrive at P5.
Yeah, and the Sea of Purple has got to come at different angles. They can't come at the same point. They've got to discombobulate, make LO6 very confused, and that's exactly what they're doing. One through bridge, one going from the right side of the map, and in doing so, great control. Now they need to work out where the spawns are coming in, which will be on the left. I think they've read it nicely. They have read it nicely. So Teletubbies, they can win it here. They can go and win it on this point. So LO6's job here is to fight as much as they
there's
can,
two.
pushing Teletubbies off, and that will be two. Poe will come back with Lala, but Lux will deny, and the point remains untouched. Time getting all too low and unable to complete it for the Teletubbies. They're going to have to go P1.
They're going to have to go P1, exactly that. What a way to finish than the point that you started at this engagement. Huge for Y to win, and he does it. He does it well, as Dipsy will be fallen to the ground. Back to the respawn screens he goes, and Legends of Six have been able to successfully wipe all of Teletubbies after the point, but Hyper, only 4 seconds left to their name. Already the damage has been done, 26 to 205. Favoring at Teletubbies now. We're back to P1 and we're back to the basics as now we see a stalemate between two teams. This is a match, a mode, and certainly a series that has to be won for Legends of Six.
You want to get the early lead, indeed, and you want to get it done and dusted. LO6 getting that early engagement. They cannot win it on this point on the time itself, so they're gonna have to force a second rotation. Meanwhile, you're still in contention. If you're Teletubbies, you can go for one last push. They've already got 2 down, and there's only 2 on point. So do you play aggressive or do you play passive? It's aggressive. LO6 will find 2 as Bickley will say thank you very much for the 2-piece. He's still alive. Y will fall with Tinky Winky, and now Teletubbies gonna rotate back and try and get ready for the second point, because they know they definitely can't win it here. And LO6, they were losing a little bit of grip here, but they've come right into this game.
They come right into this game at that. And Lux, what a beautiful way, what a beautiful display of showing that when you're down it, you're certainly not out. He'll be taken off from the back spawns, but, well, that doesn't really seem to matter because Legends of Six will avenge him out of that. And left to fend on his own at this point is Tinky Winky as time is ticking. 2:43, 5 seconds left. There's no sign of purple showing up. And just like that, yes, it's going to be Legends of Six going to take home map number 1.
We spoke all too soon at the start. We really ruled out Teletubbies with the way they played. But as soon as they smelt that coffee and they got going, oh my god, the Teletubbies definitely picked up those ARs and out for war. They're done with Nickelodeon, they're done with Disney or whatever channel they're on. They're here for the big boys.
They certainly are here for the big boys out of that. But again, well, it's going to be Legends of Six. That's going to be the victors of that. And we have to remember, too, Hyper, they are the lower seed. So closing off a map number 1 that fast, again, I don't necessarily know. I believe that was Teletubbies' choice. But again, someone can correct me if I'm wrong at that. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, what a fantastic win map 1 for Legends of Six to get themselves ahead right away in the series.
It's just a fantastic win. It puts motivation, it puts a bit of an excitement into your team, and you can now go forward, taking that next step to try and basically complete the series. And in doing so, the rotation that came off from LO6 I felt was stronger than the Teletubbies. Their breaks just that tiny bit smoother, but this is when we talk about the entire game, because at the start, as I said, Teletubbies were really nowhere to be seen. No one really stood out, no one came alive, but then eventually, once the rhythm was found, the traction came about, we saw the likes of Poe step up from that massive deficit, and then Tinky Winky, oh my god, was he on fire, but not enough to take it. So LO6 with Lux, with his manpower that he brought to the game, Jesus Christ, LO6 is on fire.
Yeah, they're certainly on fire at that. And yeah, that being said, it kind of sums up what you said there, Hyper. But the only thing I want to also note too is that Teletubbies, the reason why you were so surprised by their performance was because you had that initial doubt, and they proved you wrong at that doubt. And the reason why you had that initial doubt was because they had a very slow and a little bit of a rocky start, if you will, to this map. Yes, there wasn't a substantial amount of time that was lost, but it was still a good, I'd say 25 to 30 25 to 40 even seconds within that range, within that first rotation. So that being said, we're in XP COD League, Hyper. The prize pool is very much so very there. The production quality, I'm sure you've noticed from across all the caster streams, are up to par with that. So with that being said, if you're going to think about winning this whole thing, you need to make sure you get started right away and don't allow any room for buffering at all.
Yeah, you don't want any room, any kind of problems off the get-go, and that moves perfectly into talking of problems, now you got to deal with invasion, and invasion is not everyone's cup of tea. It's long range meta. It is all MCW galore. You could pull out the rival 9 and one person runs it, but not really a perfect choice. However, once you get the long range going, especially on search and destroy, quite an interesting map.
Yeah, it is a very interesting map at that, and it's a reason why I can't absolutely stand it. Hyper pisses me off so much because of how open it is and how far it is and how much of a journey you need to go on to get anywhere across this map and get anywhere without being noticed
Problem.
at that. But I'm hearing a lot of talking from your side, Hyper, but I don't even think you own the game. So let's pipe down over there and let the people who've actually played this game and played ranked talk. Invasion is, again, a map in which patience and persistence, especially in search and destroy, is the key to success and taking home.
Oh yeah, you definitely need a lot of patience. There is many good execution routes, execution smokes, stuns that can be used. So it's almost like a proper CS:GO map. And anyone who has played that game knows that every smoke, every molly, every piece of utility needs to go in its exact place. It's very much the same story for Invasion. The large nature, the open angles, the tight angles as well, the ability to bounce your utility in the right place is critical, and that can break a game, particularly on that B site where you are so open and you've got the dozer, you've got the tank there, you've got only got a few bits of cover to help you. A good smoke is going to massively help you from the defense or from the attack, no matter where you place it. And then, of course, being nice and confined, a good smoke will give you a good plant. But if you actually push that smoke a little bit forward, you allow a bit more rotation to come in. So, again, a good placement of utility can make and break a game.
Yes. That is that is just about summed up everything that I've said. And something else that is important to note is that, well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty issues in joining the new lobby. So we're going to go to a break. Although I don't like doing it after our first map, we're going to have to do it anyway. So when we come back, Teletubbies versus Legends of Six, this perhaps could be the greatest match we will see in winners round 1. So with that being said, keep it here. We'll be right back as quick as we can.
In high spirits, welcome back to the LO6 versus the Teletubbies match we have ahead of us. And yes, if you have just joined, yes, it's the real Teletubbies. They got the ARs, they're out here to fight. As we go over for an invasion, search and destroy. And our famous Teletubbies from the BBC have already fallen.
They've unfortunately fallen at that, but one thing's for sure, with the Teletubbies, they had a little bit of a short start on hard point, so... That being said, search and destroy, hopefully, at least if you're a Teletubbies fan, shouldn't be the same ordeal, but right now it's looking to be the thing that may allow them to lose that first round. So, Legends of Six, well, they have the bomb down, and a stalemate will ensue from Zeloxides and Lala. Swinky follows shortly behind. The rest of the boys in white have no idea where the boys in purples are. It's a matter of waiting who makes that first mistake.
And I tell you what, Zello, getting a little bit impatient, drops the shoulder, gives information away, and in doing so, that's now going to cause a slight rotation for the LO6 side. As again, it's all about patience here. You don't want to rush things
100%.
too much. And Teletubbies, they're going to read a very last-minute rotation. They've got to act fast, and in doing so, they're going to find Brickety, and that's going to be helpful. Tinky Winky staying alive for a little bit longer. Lux will find the kill. Lala will fall. Tinky Winky still alive, and he will fall as well. And Legends of Six, first round advantage, and man advantage does help them.
I mean, they waited too long, too. Teletubbies took a lot of time to get things going. Right at that 25-second mark was when shots initially began to fire. When you're in a 2v4 situation, you just gotta go. It's round 1. You still got some wiggle room to breathe in, and, you know, the likelihood of you surviving that is little to none. But you gotta start moving earlier on, Hyper. That can dramatically increase your odds of taking home that map, or even that round as a whole.
Yeah, you've got to, like, the 20-second mark is when you execute onto site. Like, it's very common you hear in games like Rainbow Six and Call of Duty, it's called the 20-second strat. You can't start rotating on 20 seconds. You've got to be executing the point, putting your utility
100%.
out, making the gunfire at that 20 seconds. You can't do it any later. But if you're LO6, you got a minute 10 in the pocket to play with and a lot of information to play with. And in doing so, they're also going to try B strategy.
Oh? I think Dipsy might have saw someone peeking there from Legends of Six, but it's had to retreat at that. Allow some time to go through. Fortunately, the patience isn't really going to help him at all because Legends of Six was able to get right through Dark and push right into the face of that tractor there. Deloxities will start off with one. I don't know if he realizes, though. Twinkie Wink will be the last alive, and he'll be the other one. That'll close down round number 2, Legends of Six. Didn't even need to plant the bomb, Hyper.
No, they did not at all. An aggressive strategy from Teletubbies. Once they got the information, they just started to crowd the entire area and try to reinforce, which isn't a bad strategy to do. You just put yourself in danger. The LO6 will just pick you off one by one as you move, and that's exactly what they did. So 2-0 in favor of Legends of Six. And Teletubbies need to find a different strategy here.
Yeah, needs to find that rhythm before it becomes too late. And just as I say that, a couple of tips, love taps, I guess you could say, from both sides of the spectrum. Hopefully, that's a little bit of information that you know where Legends of Six will place their pawns on the chessboard. But go ahead. Yeah, excuse me. He'll hold the bomb tightly in hand as the rest of the boys in purple are going to try their hand at doing the same strategy they did last round. And, well, Hyper, just as we saw in round number 1, it's not looking too well for them right off the bat.
Yeah, Lux had like a little dinner conversation before doing the kill and a lot of time to say hi.
Oh.
As the bomb being dropped in quite an awkward position. Not much they can do here because you can see how advanced
Tinky and Lux.
Zello. Yeah, Lux says thank you very much. Aggressive position, but easy peeking. And now you've got Lala able to pick off the Zello that was lurking inside the building. Now we come down to 27 seconds and they haven't even got close to a site. Dipsy's the closest. He's going to go into clear and he's looking all the wrong way. Somehow he makes it out alive. But they still need to get that bomb down. 15 seconds left. All's going to be chaos. And they've got to find a way on. It's going to be Lala finding 2. So this might be an opportunity. They've got to plant down to Lux to keep things alive for the LO6 side. And it will be successful for Teletubbies. But that got a little shaky there.
Yeah, I think the time was ticking there. And Legends of Six, in my opinion, they should have played that a little better at the end, especially Lux. I know he's definitely no stranger to this game and how things work. I think that was just sort of an effort of panic that sort of ensued there, as Lux, in my opinion, should have played the waiting game, allowed Teletubbies to get the bomb down, or at least waited to see if they can get it down in that 4 seconds they were allotted. But no, Lux, I'm sure, was a little pressured just by the ticking of the time and just, I don't know, I guess maybe the ideation that he might be able to clutch up that 1v2, but in such close quarters, Hyper, it just simply wasn't possible.
No, usually when you do get to a CQB scenario like that, and being that close, you do end up going a bit panicky, you do end up getting a little scared, but this is what defines the difference between a good player and an average player, is how well you can control yourself in those CQB scenarios, as Lala will be the first to fall. Again, Teletubbies on the back foot, but they have demonstrated they can win off a back foot. It just takes a few rounds.
It just takes a few rounds at that. But Teletubbies, well, unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be the round that might shine some light onto that. But hey, I mean, they're spreading themselves out a little bit, trying to warp themselves into a purple wall as most effectively as they can. And Twinkie Winkie will sort of go in a little bit of a panic as he probably heard something from Tank and from those doors as well. Right after his death, some extracurriculars will ensue. Poe will pick up a trade, but not before the last 2 of Teletubbies will be taken out in the process. So Poe will be the last alive with a play to make, and Lux, I believe, spots him out from that palm tree. And 1v1 situation, a stalemate will ensue. He'll have to play the waiting game, but not for long. 27 seconds left to defuse the bomb. He'll get challenged from Zelocity, but he'll play his life as well. And it's sort of just a mental game right now, as Legends of Six are seeing Poe as a mouse, as they're all cats toying with their prey.
Yeah, a brilliant pinch and nothing Poe could do in that situation. And when you're trapped like that, what can you do? The answer is
Nothing.
nothing. You really
Nothing.
can't. All you're doing is trying to stay alive, deny any streaks, and if you can make a break on one of the 3 entry points, then brilliant. There's nothing more you can say than a perfect pinch for LO6, but this pushes themselves 3-1, getting themselves just that little bit closer to the beautiful round 6 to them. As they will go once again. Long-range tags will not do much damage in the mid alleys. So if you're Poe, get nice and aggressive.
There's a first
Dipsy
one.
will get aggressive. Dipsy, yeah, getting straight aggressive. Poe getting also aggressive as well. Can you find the kill? Dances around the tank. Will find another round the corner.
There it is.
And that's going to be Bickley.
Oh!
Thank you very much. And Poe with a long range.
Heyo!
Gets it. And where did that come from Teletubbies?
Well, I'll tell you what that came from. It came from them now understanding that there has to be a change in their pacing and in their map positioning for the remainder of this game if they even want to think about taking home map number 2 and avoiding that whole reverse or that whole sweep scenario. Well done by Teletubbies, being aggressive when they need to, but also showing a little bit of hesitancy and resistance as well, especially with Poe not going for that Chaw into dark with his Renetti out, waiting for him to be the one to be the deciding factor of whether or not if that kill goes through or not.
Tinky Winky taking a little bit of damage after a very nice round in his favor. Well, particularly if you're Poe, 2 headshots with the Renetti. Very dangerous indeed. Dipsy, unable to connect, but has great information here. As Bickle hiding away. Not much LO6 can do in this situation, but you need to be careful of Poe. He's got a great sightline on tape.
He's got a great sightline onto that. Right now, Legends of 6 Hyper, they're in a little bit of a stalemate because you can tell from the purple arrows in the bottom left corner of your screen, every single angle, every inch margin, what have you, is completely locked down from the boys in purple. It'll take a successful challenge from Legends of 6 to break this hole that they're currently in, or allow Legends of 6 to move around to a point where, just what we're seeing right now, Teletubbies are forced to move, and Lux would be the first one to get that pendulum moving.
Poe just moved himself too much in the open. Nothing he could do in that scenario. But if you're LO6, 25 seconds, there's a little bit of pressure to get this bomb down. Now down to 20. And that was a good tag if you're a Tinky Winky, because now he's picked up 2. And that's going to be very critical. Tables have turned.
Wow.
Down to Zello. Zello has got to get the bomb down. 10 seconds left. He's left all alone. And Teletubbies, again, after a slow start, they're coming right back into this.
They're coming right back into it as well, and like I said, we saw an offensive change in the strategy from that most recent round, and now in this round, we see a defensive change in strategy. It was that chokehold that Teletubbies had on Legends of 6 all throughout the map. Like I said earlier, Legends of 6 had literally nowhere to go, but straight through the wall of purple, challenge that wall of purple, maybe won a gunfight here and there, but at the end of the day, you go for the wall, and you can, go through one side of the wall, but the rest of it will still remain up and strong. That's exactly what Teletubbies did when Lux got that first opening kill. The rest of the boys in purple came through, finished, took care of business, and got the avenge at that.
Teletubbies slowing it down again. Went a little fast the last few rounds. Now let's rein it back. This nice change of tempo is something I absolutely love, as Dipsy is going to take his time and gather all that information he can as he goes through Broken. Poe will give away his location through shooting, but in doing so, trying to draw someone out, as Tinky Winky will get the first of the kills, and that was from a Roma of Lux. So no benefit in information, only a benefit of lives.
Benefit of lives at that, and you can tell Teletubbies, although they're up in the lives right now, they're playing a little conservatively, but Bickle will be able to get that trade on Tinky Winky, but Dipsy will return the favor in the back, and Y will also return the favor and say, no, I'll get the last laugh at that. But who's really laughing Hyper, as Teletubbies will get the bomb planted onto the point, 2v1 situation. Y is in the back spawn by Castle. I don't know if Teletubbies really knows that. They know where their last, there it is. There goes the head peek, a little cheeky there. LM will use that car to his cover, and there's the signal. The comms at that for Poe to move up ever so slightly, but now go for the chow. Again, a perfect display of patience. Whoa!
Need to have a look at the angle. He wasn't looking. Now Y is left in a 1v1, 17 seconds left. Remember, 7.5 seconds to defuse the bomb. So you either ninja this or go for the chow. He's going for the chow, looks the wrong way. And Teletubbies, this will be the first time they take the lead in the search and destroy.
Yeah, it'll be the first time I take the lead in the search and destroy, and the first time I start to really look at them and see them mechanically as a, just a bunch of gears moving in a machine, all ever so collaboratively together and so synchronized in a sense that everything just comes out. The final product, perfect, flawless out of that. You saw the chokehold on defense, and now when we're on the offensive strategy again, things are looking really good if you're someone who loves Teletubbies.
If you're still loving Teletubbies at this age, then grow up, man.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, depends. But if you are the Teletubbies, you've got to get yourselves wide, you've got to get yourself covered for the entirety of the map. As we've seen that bomb looking to go down to the riverside, and Poe will be the one there waiting. However, Lala, mid-control has always been his, and he's not giving that up all too easy. And once again, Dipsy playing in the broken position. Just let Lux go through, and then that's going to cost him dear, because Lux will get the kill, and this might be an opening for Legends of Six.
I mean, it's an opening at that. I was going to say, if it's not broken, don't fix it, and that's what Teletubbies was doing. They were taking that same defensive strategy and re-employing it this round, but this time, Legends of Six has learned from their mistakes and have created that opening. However, from mid-map, Lala will get that headshot and get a trade at that, but Lux will go through, take out Tinky Winky, and create that giant opening out of that, a gaping hole for Legends of Six to jump right into, allow that bomb to get planted, and leave Teletubbies scratching their head from across the map left to make a play in a 2v3 situation.
It's a difficult one because the entirety of Legends of Six have parked this bus. They are leaving Y a little off point. They are allowing him to roam just very slightly, but it's not going to be a laugh as Zello will get one, and now it's down to Lala, and Lala will find the roamer, giving away his locations. 19 seconds left on the clock. He's got to push. He's got to find something. So now the aggression starts to go in. Checking corners will be less of a priority. He's going to tag low. He's not going to get the transfer. And Legends of Six will tie this back up.
Yeah, they found that chokehold hyper. They found the point in which Teletubbies had their biggest weakness. The mistake was made. Someone didn't hit their shots, and the rest is history. Boys in Gold was able to get themselves right onto the bomb site, get the bomb planted, and spread themselves out like wings on a bald eagle, or Pegasus, I believe that's their logo, right onto the objective. And, well, Teletubbies tried their heart out of penetrating through, but guns were too hot for Legends of Six.
Can confirm it is a Pegasus, and if you don't want to know more, it was all on the next strat where we spoke to the owner of Legends of Six, and he's quite proud of the 4 teams that he has.
Yeah, he's real proud.
Amongst this team, he is an incredible man. 6 people started that team, and
6
now
states.
look at what it's been. Exactly. And now it's become a legend indeed, and the legends keep going as Y will take out Poe. And this leaves a 3v4 in favor of the LO6 side. Minute left on the clock, and there's still time to readjust if you're Teletubbies.
Tinky Winky holding the hand ever so tightly next to his fellow Teletubby, Lala. Come right behind in those spawns and go completely unnoticed. I was saying earlier, Teletubbies were mice in that second round, but this time the advantage is given to the mice as they can ever so silently move right behind the cats, going completely unnoticed. And now Teletubbies will carry that life advantage tightly in hand, allowing Legends of Six to sort of scramble a little bit, left them scratching their heads, but Lux will arise to the occasion, kill Bomb Planter from Tank. Tinky Winky will pick up the bomb. 2v2 situation.
Yeah, and it's one of those. Do you plant the bomb or do you hesitate?
Oh.
Goes open. Zello will get the kill. He's got 1. He's got 2, and a little extra bullets to say thank you. And Legends of Six,
yes, sir.
All looked like a dire situation, but Teletubbies did that right in the sense of getting the first execute going. Brilliant coordination, trigger discipline inside that embassy. But as soon as they got outside, Legends of Six adapted to that situation, rotated through, and a 2-piece to finish it up.
I mean, that was basically what you'd consider as a textbook definition of a fake out, completely. And you see Legends of Six, you see that opening onto the kill, goes right back into the door, and then peeks right back out. Teletubbies left to panic, pick up the bomb, and get that plant done. So a map point for Legends of Six to improve the 2-0 as a whole in the series, but Lala, well, it's got to sting a little bit and definitely burn a lot too if you're Bickle, because that nade, certainly not a good way to start off the round.
It's not going to do anything good for LO6. However,
Whoa.
Teletubbies are going to love this indeed. As they're going to go quick in the smoke. Poe will find one, but beaten down by Zello. Lala will trade that off. Lux will say, no, Lala, you are not playing this game anymore. Down to Lux in a 2v1. And that happened all too quickly. And it's down to Lux, and he's been spotted at the embassy as Tinky Winky has the sights.
Well, he's got a rival 9 to his hand, Lux. I'm not sure what you're thinking there, but that's not going to be an MCW, and he knows that. So instead of challenging and trying to get those picks, he'll opt for the most optimal strategy, in my opinion, get themselves onto that B bomb site, allow himself to sort of finagle his way through the map, pop Deddy at that, and completely go unnoticed. I think that's where it is, Hyper. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Tinky Winky was able to spot him out there, and he's got an MCW held it tightly in hand, and a 1v1 between the MCW and the rival 9 certainly will not ensue, as Dipsy will allow the pinch to go through. Tinky Winky just applying just enough pressure to get the assist there. Now, we're going to a round 11, Hyper.
Brilliant work from the Teletubbies. Again, coordinated attack. And we've seen this once before when they were in the embassy last round. But this time, did it under pressure. Good spot, good shoulder peek was enough to allow information for Teletubbies to go, yeah, he's inside broken. And all you need is one going up, one going under. Classic SWAT move indeed. But round 11, this is all to play for.
All to play for. This is for all the marbles, Hyper. Teletubbies, this is huge for you to win. You don't want to be in that possible sweep scenario. Legends of 6, this could be very much so the deciding map that allows you to turn your consoles off early. Right off the bat, BBL Bickles not waiting, not wasting any time, get a couple of taps on the Teletubbies. And now the madness will begin to ensue.
And they're going to be patient, though. Just a little bit patient, because Teletubbies aren't pushing just yet. You can go forward, as Zello has just done. He will find one. That's going to be Poe putting his controller down. But has Dipsy got that information? I don't know if a leg was just seen. And Teletubbies need to be careful not to over-aggress, not to put themselves in a position where they're going to lose yet another life. They still have 38 seconds left on the clock. They can play with the food. They can play with the situation, as Dipsy will get the close quarters battle. Hurry, quickly, you'll find another. Tinky Winky will get the third. It's down to Lux. 1v3, 24 seconds left. And somehow, Lux will keep it all alive.
He'll keep it alive at that. 18 seconds and counting. Teletubby certainly has the pressure to their name, but they don't care. They will remain strong under pressure and will force at least a map number 4. Legends of 6 started off strong. Teletubby started off pretty weak, but they ended strong. That's all that matters in taking home map number 2.
Again, we saw this from the last game. Teletubbies just take their time to get their rhythm going. And when they do, they're coming out the house to play. The sun is shining, and Teletubby Land is all happy in that side of things. Wow, is all I can say, because they adapted to those situations brilliantly. You can see the communication is far, far beyond, I would say, the other teams we've ever casted, because you can see the way, especially in that embassy kill. I know they didn't win the round, but the hesitation that went through before taking the shot was like, you there in case I miss? Yeah, I'm here. Now let's execute. And that's just on one player. And then, of course, inside broken again. Beautiful tag team coordination. These guys clearly are good friends, and it does show, hence why they changed their names to these incredible characters.
Well, I'm going to tell you something too, Hyper. Yes, that was a fantastic win from Teletubbies, but I think the biggest winner out of all of this is Lala. He went through and he brought the cavalry with him, 12 and 6. A 2 KD on Search and Destroy. Yes, there weren't any cruise missiles, but when you got a teammate like that can rise up to the occasion, that can rise up to a 3-1 deficit early on in the game, that's certainly a player you don't want to drop anytime soon.
Yeah, you're not dropping him anytime soon. I don't think these guys are going to be dropping anybody anytime soon. The only person I'd probably say that wasn't up to par, in my opinion, was Poe. Yes, he performed a fantastic two-piece of the Renetti, but I felt that he was more the recon player. He definitely got a lot of information. He didn't necessarily get the kills for the Teletubbies. However, he did put himself in awkward positions that, as I said, gained him that information. So yeah, okay, not the greatest on stats, but a great asset to the team. And I will tell you what, Scav, I'm looking forward to Control that's coming up next.
I'm looking forward to Control. It's coming up next at that. But before that, we're going to go to another quick break. We'll be right back. Control 1-1. Teletubbies looking to improve. Legends of Six looking to suppress this newfound hope. Keep it here.
If you want a battle that is as close as anything, have the Teletubbies come up, bang on the door, and kick it down, because Teletubbies took that map and brought LO6 into a forced map 4 as we go to Control, and we're staying on Beautiful Invasion, and in doing so, brings the nerdiness of myself.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, Hyper. And for me, it's just another day, another migraine for Invasion. But Teletubbies will get themselves started right away. But Lux will say, no, no, no. Allow us some time on to B. Relax. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to get this B whether you guys like it or not.
You got to get aggressive onto that B site, capture it early, because the only way, and literally is the only way to have a successful push onto A after that, is to take the whole entire street, push your way through parking and gas, because once you get down to the gas and get yourself to the riverside, you can flip the spawns from being southern to go northern. And at the moment, those spawns for Teletubbies are northern. They will now change to southern, as a brief tick time was going onto that A site, but it won't last for very long.
A wild goose chase will ensue between Bickle and Lala. It's all down to see who makes the first mistake. Dipsy, he's going to be read by Bickle pretty darn well. And while that happens, Lala will get distracted, traded out from Lux. From Cafe. Again, Dipsy is still waiting to pounce on the unlucky person. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, Legends of Six haven't taken it very quickly. Is why that? It's just why. Slid into the DMs and left the message and dropped right back out. And that's going to be an advantage for LO6 as they're going to complete that clock and move themselves a bit further forward. As you can see, now they're going to start pushing to the higher part of the street. They want to take that blue tank and through top gas, all through that. They want to take the control down that street to flip these spawns.
I don't even think they realize Poe and Y are right next to each other. Why? So let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm on Legends of Six. Here you go. There's that trade they're going to go through. Twinkie Winky and Dipsy. It's a mouthful of these two boys, and we'll be saying them a lot because they've been getting kills and they've been bringing the heat onto Legends of Six, as Bickle will get that trade. A wall bang out of that onto Teletubbies. The last point being A needs to be focused right now from Legends of Six. There's two. And the third from Y with the Renetti. So with that being said, Twinkie Winky's got to fight for his life and just hold on just enough for the reinforcements to arrive, but he's not able to. 2 on to A, and this could very well be the formula that Legends of Six needs for that round 1 win.
They need to capitalize on this moment, but the reinforcements around the outside fell, and that allowed Teletubbies to quickly come in. Now the question is, did that tick complete, or is that just shy? I believe it is a complete tick onto A, so only 2 to go, and already the feed turning white again. Legends of Six pushing back onto point. 27 seconds left. They've got to make a move. They've taken out 3 already, so there's a great opportunity. You got Lux waiting on the outside. Be impatient. He wants to make sure it's okay and safe. Now definite confirmation. Tick 1 and A is done. Bickle trying to do some work with the Renetti, can't find the kill. He will back away. He knows that's not a necessary fight just yet, as the progression continues to keep going, and it's nearly done for Legends of Six. Lala onto point, makes the contest. Isn't gonna work, and that's round attack win. Not just yet. Teletubbies keep this alive. How have they done that with a mere microsecond?
I'm telling you right now, Hyper, it's Twinkie Winky with 1 life left, 5 seconds to go. It's gonna have to go down to the wire as that double cap will go through. The strategy has to go through, but not before too much time is allowed.
Cow, he's right behind the door.
Will be it. Legends of Six will take home round number 1, but not before Hyper. An insane amount of resistance, pressure, and a coordinated Teletubbies. Well done from both sides of the spectrum.
That is a well-coordinated team. They definitely kept that alive, kept it going. as long as possible, but the Teletubbies will fall to lives and not through points. So that's gonna be a little favorable in terms of the tick game, because I do believe that even if you win via lives, they still count all the ticks that are done.
Yep. If you've won by lives, it's about the ticks, and then if ticks are tied, then it goes down to lives that are lost on both sides of the spectrum. And right off the bat, round number 2, quick start to B. Time is ticking, and Legends of Six have shown no sign of getting onto that B and contesting it at that. But from behind, BBL Bickle will play the long game and get 2 off. But 2 off, that's certainly not enough, because you got the last 2. Poe and Lala will sit themselves quite nicely on the point and allow themselves a fantastic 2 minutes and 15 seconds of time to focus on that A site.
That's quick, and the way they want it, because as you mentioned, they've got plenty of time now to work that A site, work the street, see what they can do, what progression they can make on there. But Lux is saying no, and Lelo 6 are saying thank you so much. Lux is on a 4 streak right now, 2 away from a cruise missile. He's gonna get in his heads. He's found another. Lux will fall just at the brink of getting the cruise missile. And Teletubbies is pushed back right into the spawn, and they need to be careful because they're down a lot of lives here.
Yeah, you really do have to be careful if you're going to be pushing a little too far into spawn, because that being said, it could come right back to bite you. If you allow all 4 off respawn to get around you when you're in spawn, well, you're already down a man, and you got to hoist yourself all the way on over to A at that. And it looks like, Hyper, that they read your mind, because they're starting to slow down the pace just a little bit now, evident with the life deficit that we're starting to see, 22 to 15. It's not uncommon, I guess you could say, when they're on the offensive, but last round, Legends of Six made it work, so now the expectation has been placed onto Teletubbies to do the same. Trades will go through, extracurriculars, love taps, if you will hit, and BBL Bickle will not have to do anything onto Dipsy, because the Renetti from Y and the car explosion will send those 2 right back to the respawn screens, and here it goes. Into the blender, they start to go, as Zeloxides will park himself right on a tank, right into the response.
Zello right into the embassy, and he is going to enjoy every second of it. Well, a second that he had, because Teletubbies will say thank you very much and break out of the spawn trap. But there's been no attempt onto this A site. Legends of Six holding strong here, and nothing that Teletubbies can do as they get all close and personal. Tinky Winky finds 2.
There it is.
Has to pull the Renetti out to keep himself alive, and is there a glimmer of hope? 2 have fallen, but there's still 2 on point. Spawns are down low as well. No progression, no control over the parking lot to flip these spawns. 11 seconds left. And all is looking dire for the Teletubbies.
It is looking really dire right now. 4 seconds left and counting. If you want to get a group push, you need to do it right here, right now, and they do it. Lala Lane will be the last one, though, on, because Legend of Six will get some kills from mid-cut and now isolate him to be the last alive. Every single player has 1 more life to give, and Lala, what a great use of it at that on that successful challenge. You got to be careful now, Lala. You cannot get a little too greedy with these kills. Y will be waiting on the other side, allowing the reinforcements to go through, but time is ticking. 1.3 seconds left. Shots will be traded on both sides of the spectrum. Poe is waiting on the other side. Y will try his challenge at, and Zelox will get right back under the pump, but the reinforcements are there. Lux from afar will put his finger up and say no, but Teletubbies will answer back in that round, answer back in style, just as the same way Legends of Six did in round 1.
I've always said that Invasion is the hardest to win on attack. And both sides have demonstrated weaknesses in their defense and proving me completely wrong. And they have both been done by the fraction of a second. When time is put on pressure, they've eaten away at the defense and brought themselves in a position to park the bus. And of no surprise am I seeing Legends of Six going for that A push off the get-go.
No surprise out of that, and Dipsy will be the man to make a play onto Bickle if he can. But not before he stubbornly takes someone out in the process. So Legends of Six will try to park themselves right onto A right away, and Twinkie Winky will be the one to shoot the final bullets and Lux the respawn screen and not allow much other than a single tick on A to ensue.
Yeah, and in doing so, they are now going to put their full attention back over to the B site. There's no point going back to A. It's too hard. You can see Teletubbies have pushed themselves so far forward here that they can deny any push that goes down on the river side. So you've got to focus on that B, but if you're Tinky Winky, oh my lord, there's gonna be some hell, and they've finally won, but it will get turned on and taken out. So no sneak attack, and this will allow for the B to be completed.
There goes B. Teletubbies have quite some time here to play with against Legends of Six, but I guess you could also say that's a bad thing, as they do leave with 3 lives to their name, but Legends of Six, again, we've seen them do crazier things with less in their hands. Certainly, though, Tinky Winky and Dipsy are helping their case as they pick off 2 from mid-map, and now leaving Lux to make a play and choose what he should be doing at this point in time. And if you ask me, Hyper, you got plenty of time to work with it. You just need to start getting those kills.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. Minute 30, you can literally do 5 laps of this map if you wanted to, assuming no one's shooting at you, of course, and still go to point and capture it. So you've got to, you can milk your way over, you can do whatever. So take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Legends of Six are doing, pushing themselves right into the gas station, making sure it's almost impossible to spawn down south. This is the textbook route that Legends of Six are doing, and they're making this attack look all too easy, as Bickle is on point, and he is starting to close down that gap. He will get denied, and that will be Tinky Winky saying thank you very much. We're still in this game.
He's rocking the skin and the kills right now for Teletubbies because he has shown that he can excel not only in multiple game modes, but under pressure in the situations where Legends of Six have that opportunity, create an opening, and could easily jump right onto the point and end that round. Now, 45 seconds left. Things are starting to get a little more pressing if you're Legends of Six.
I think more the lives are the pressing matter here. 9 to 12. It's disadvantage Legends of Six. They have won in this scenario before. Again, another brief opening going into their favor, but the spawns are down low. They're down south for the Teletubbies, and they're going to go very quick. No trophy put down, and that's going to be critical. Lala picking up 2, says thank you very much.
Whoa.
And it will park the bus, not allowing any of Legends of Six to get on point. 9 to 6, 19 seconds left, and this looks to be a near to done deal. But one last attempt from Legends of Six to try and get their foot on the point. Dipsy above will get taken out through the wall. Zello round the corner, gets stunned, has to dive behind cover.
All 4.
Can't do anything, and Teletubbies gets a defensive round.
They learned from their mistakes, Hyper, in the first round. They did not allow Legends of Six to squeak by and allow that round win to defy who they are. Now, map point for Teletubbies. Now, Legends of Six staring down the same barrel that they aimed at Teletubbies and looking at a potential 2-1 series situation if they're not able to pull off this defensive round.
It's a dangerous position, a dangerous zone. I don't want to be in Legends of Six's corner right now because you know, Teletubbies can and they will try for an attacking win here. And in doing so, again, playing it safe. Most of the forces went south, but it's Lux left alive on that B site. Will get taken out. And again, a very fast capture will be the progress and the plan from the Teletubbies, as they want to get B over and done with.
Oh, they want to get it over and done with. They've been wanting to get B over and done with before they even loaded into the map, because I'm sure they know this would be a huge positioning and advantage that they would have if they take home those 2 maps. But Legends of Six will not waste any time and not allow any more ticks to go on to B. Now, seeing themselves in this situation, they have no slack. No slack, no more to be given, and they're certainly reflecting on that right now. Lux and Zalox will clean up shop and send Teletubbies to the respawn lobbies.
Jesus, Zello getting aggressive and looking for the spawn trap. And already, Legends of Six are not allowing an inch of the Teletubby forces to get anywhere close to the B site. And this might screw the Teletubbies' mind. There's nothing they can do here, especially with Zello still being a pain in the neck. He continues to cause chaos. He will eventually fall, and Teletubbies with 25 seconds left. What can you do in this?
Nothing. All you can do is just spray and pray at this point in time. All sides, all angles of the map are covered right now, and Teletubbies are left absolutely scrambling to make a play and possibly take home this map. And there it is. Dipsy with a two-piece, Lala to pick up the third and the fourth to his name. All four off for Legends of 6. Back to the respawn lobbies they go, and back to A they must sit as Teletubbies staring down the barrel of 9 seconds. Now have extended it to just over a minute.
It's not a lot of time now, and especially with a life deficit like that. 21 and 15, that's 6 lives different. They've won on those lives as well, so again, much like Legends of 6, you put them in a deficit, they're coming right back into play, but it just is a pressure that's not needed. You want a clear mind when you attack A. That's something they don't have right now.
No, not at all. 32 seconds left. Yes, I know some people might think it's not a lot, but it is a lot. If you have the specific map position that Teletubbies had, they cannot avoid dying at this point in time. Invasion, a map that I can't stand. This is a primal reason you can't really move if you're on the offensive side. If you get taken off, it's just simply not enough time for you to cross through all throughout the map. But an opening has been made, Hyper. A train of purple will slowly but surely start to flow through with 7 seconds left. It will be Lux, be the last alive. Tax will defending the point. 2 seconds left, 1 second, and they do it. We're seeing a round number 5.
Both can attack, both can defend. The question is, who was winning the tick line? One I can't really answer because I wasn't keeping count this time round. I have to remember, Legends of 6 technically did win a game from kills and not by ticks. So this could be interesting who gets what.
It certainly can be interesting to see. I haven't been keeping track. I'm back from school for the break, so no more math in my head. But from what it seems to be, from the looks of it, is going to be Legends of 6 is going to be defending. So this is a fantastic position, excuse me, that you want to be in right now, as Teletubbies now tasked to do the very same thing they failed to do last round. They're not going to waste any time. They're not going to take any chance. They're going to right back onto B and allow themselves, hopefully, to have as much time as they can as they slowly but surely start to capture B. Lux, certainly, though, will not help the matter.
Yeah, Lux getting that two-piece off the get-go, allowing just a brief moment of time for the team of LO6 to get right back into this. And this is going into their favor. And again, much like the round before, Legends of 6 have really forced Teletubbies' hand here and made it really hard for them to get on point.
Just under a minute left, and Teletubbies still struggling to get themselves that second tick. There goes the kills. Back to the respawn lobbies they all go. The wall is as strong as ever that Legends of 6 is driving between the Teletubbies and that B spot. And to put it all icing on the cake, Lux is sitting way in the back and just farming up spawn kills. An awful position to be in right now if you're the Teletubby, especially looking down the lives, Hyper. This is a sinking, slowly but surely sinking feeling that's starting to settle in. The reality is there that Teletubbies will need to pull off a miracle to take home this map.
A miracle indeed. There's nothing they can do in this scenario because you can still see Lux is waiting and lurking. So he's creating a false hope here. The cruise missile will land, not connect with anybody. He's allowed the entirety of Teletubbies to go forward, and there he appears again. Lux is in the feed, just getting the farming, the kills, and he will deny any form of rotation to come in. Legends of 6 nailed it on the head. And spawn traps Teletubbies in the embassy.
Yeah, I mean, you saw they can both do offensive rounds or defensive rounds at that, but that display of an offensive round from the Teletubbies was... ouch. That's all I can really say, to be honest with you. Legends of 6 coming out strong and finishing that round. That was huge for them again to advance. We move on over to the next mode, which will be Hardpoint on 6-star.
Ooh, gotta love a good 6-star hardpoint. Yes, it's different. It's a four hill point instead of the traditional 5. So a very interesting way to do it. But a brief recap on that invasion. Both sides, I would say, were fairly equal. I just feel Legends of 6 were able to progress on the kill. So when they made the kill, they were able to move that little bit forward and gain a little bit of traction every kill they made. while Teletubbies would make the kill and hesitate, maybe even dropping back at times before they decided to push forward. And I feel that kind of turned the tables quite dramatically on a few occasions.
It's just tying the knot at the end of the day. That's what I noticed. It's the fact that Legends of Six was able to see themselves in a position where they could possibly lose that round when it was 2-1 earlier on, and they woke up, rose to the occasion, and finished things off. Not only it wasn't a case where Legends of Six was barely getting through that round 4. They got through it, and they had some wiggle room to go through along with it. I mean, they were up by the lives, and then you move on over to round 5. Again, tying the knot is what they seem to do best in these situations. Rise to the occasion, the pressure, take that pressure and flip it on its head right on to their opponents who's been applying that pressure to begin with. Now you look at the flip side of Teletubbies, they seem to be knowing how to start off and start off well with momentum. But it comes with finishing that momentum that you have that they fail to do. And especially when you're in situations where you're pinned against your backs to the corner, that spawn trap, prime example, not able to wiggle themselves out of, start to crumble.
It does crumble indeed. But moving on to, as we mentioned, beautiful 6-star, different environment, different way of playing. Again, back to the CQB in the next 2 rounds. If we do go to around map number 5 as well, oh, it's CQB galore, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. But stay tuned, as we will drop into the lobby very soon, as we take a very, very inty-winty break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the XP CoD League, and welcome back to what is going to be map number 4, excuse me, Legends of Six versus Teletubbies here on 6-star Hardpoint.
And what a battle it's gonna be. Remember the new update of 6-star, meaning only 4 rotations on this map instead of the usual 5, which makes it a little more juicy than every other map, and it means the gameplay just feels that extra bit faster. And in doing so, we saw last time round, Legends of Six took dominance on the first 2 points. Well, roles are reversed here. Teletubbies getting the initial point and an initial control. And it's all looking positive for the team in purple.
It is looking pretty positive at that, but it's a P1 hyper. We don't really necessarily see the best of any of the teams yet at this point in time, but Teletubbies enjoying a nice 43-second lead out of that. Now moving on over to P2, and Dipsy, well, he'll get the ball rolling as well, pick up 1, but not get the second, as Aloxides will get 2 to his own name before eventually he's put to rest by Poe.
Over to P2. LO6 getting that early rotation done and able to take the early control. They're not confident enough to be on point just yet, as it will be a onslaught from Legends of Six. The feed turns completely white, and now Legends of Six getting a little more comfortable even after wiping out the Teletubbies from the face of the earth.
Nope, and they're going to continue doing it right now, as Legends of Six will see that time, and time will go down ever so slightly, as Teletubbies will finally make that break that they needed to make. But again, Legends of Six, they do have those spawns in their favor, so they're going to sit themselves right onto the point, as Hyper usually like to say, park the bus, enjoy a nice few seconds of scraps, couple of snacks here and there to feed their hunger after playing these last 4 maps. And moving on over to the next point, P3, Teletubbies will be acclimated, set up right onto the point, if you will, and a measure right here will ensue whether or not Legends of Six can break. And before I can even finish the sentence, Hyper, they do it.
Just the breaking skills that come from LO6, their one-on-one engagements, I said it before, is phenomenal. They fly in, they come in with speed, and there's just nothing that Teletubbies can do. The lead changes, and this looks all locked down if you are LO6. Or is it, as the Teletubbies are slowly creeping away,
Heyo!
away onto point, and Y takes 2 and says thank you very much. This point is not up for debate.
Nope, not up to debate at that point. After Legend of Six got that break, they set up camp. They had the trophy down, a little campfire, intense pitch at that. And Y will keep going on his 4 streak. There was 1, he got the second, and he's going to keep going. This man is on a roll right now. And from behind, a couple of seconds, if he's lucky enough, he'll get that 6 and get the cruise missile. But his teammate takes care of business before he can make that possible mistake, lose the cruise missile. And La La Land, well, he'll get them. La will get himself parked around on the point, throw the trophy, but that's been thrown in vain, Hyper, because Legend of Six will continue on their onslaught of retaking hard points.
Y got the cruise missile in his back pocket now, so there's an advantage, major advantage, if you're Legends of Six with the use of the cruise. The question is, when do you use it? And then the answer to that will be a lot later in this game, as Teletubbies finally bringing a break back into their favor and able to lock down P4. And this is the needed points. They needed these points for a good while. And in doing so, they're actually getting a nice preparation going for P1 as well.
Yep, P1, just like it is on Rio, on 6-star, it's quite literally right across the street, so not much needs to be done in terms of winning rotations. If anything, you want to make sure you have yourself ready to go with spawns on moving to P2. So just like that, not sure what happened with Old, but Lux will go ahead and win scraps out of that, perhaps cause a little bit of a disruption and sending Teletubbies back to the respawns, as Legends of Six will try to build a wall around that horseshoe-shaped point. And they're not able to do much in succeeding at that. Now Teletubbies will be the ones that are going to be the people who infiltrate, retake points, and sit themselves parked right onto that. And the special thing about this point, Hyper, well, it's P1, so whoever gets themselves onto point, acclimated behind bar, will enjoy a nice couple of drinks and tequila out of that while they do it.
Shots is what they're saying, and that's exactly what they're doing, as the Legends of Teletubbies are pushing back onto that point, unable to be successful. And at this point in time, I would start to look at making that rotation, getting over to flipping the spawns, something that Teletubbies have not successfully done. However, they are getting the scraps from the original point. Well, originally they did. Now 5 seconds will go to LO6. Teletubbies falling a little bit behind, but we spoke too soon before, and they came back to make the game 230 to 250.
Well, the question now, Hyper, is whether or not Legends of Six can sort of learn from their mistakes and allow that comeback to happen. They might have maybe even got a little too lazy, put their feet up, if you will, in that first map on Rio, and the Teletubbies almost came back and won it at that. So the question is whether or not they've learned from their mistakes. And, well, so far, it seems to be that Teletubbies is showing exactly what we saw earlier. They got a successful retake onto that, but Legends of Six, again, spawns are in their favor. This is something that Teletubbies has been struggling to do since day one in Hardpoint. That's win spawns, win them in their favor, and hold those spawns as well to deflect any other attention or players from LO6 to get right back onto it. And just like that, P2 is all set and done. Legends of Six with the last laugh in their hand, and Wyatt will start giggling himself as he gets that nice opening on Dipsy for the next point.
Yeah, and you can already see Legends of Six applying that pressure onto Teletubbies. No attempt to go south from LO6, so I'm surprised they're not going to try and flip the spawns or attempt. I spoke too soon because Lux is doing exactly what I am looking to happen, and the cruise missile also being invested. This will allow a push off the point.
There's the opening.
A kill as well, and now LO6 jumps onto point and try and claim more time.
They're gonna claim
a spawn flip.
Yeah, they're going to claim more time. A spawn flip is through. 30 seconds. I mean, could you ever ask for a better break at this point? If I'm at LO6, I'm shaking my head very, very aggressively and saying, no, I'm going to take the time at that and get myself so much closer to that 200-point mark, as Teletubbies is lagging behind now at this point with a 60-point deficit, Hyper. This means you're going to need to hold a fantastic hold onto P4 and even consider to be back into the game against the boys in gold. And a 1v1 will ensue for Scrap. BBL Bickle will win. Get the last laugh at that. And one thing I've noticed, Hyper, is for sure Legends of Six will not let any scraps left. They hate wasting food. They hate it.
Both sides hate wasting food. Teletubbies are the same. They don't want to allow any spare points to go in favor of Legends of Six. But then, as you said before, they need to lock down P4. And off the get-go, it's getting shaky. They've been pushed off. 3 of the members of LO6 ready, and now LO6 makes the break. And they can get themselves ready to push themselves into the 200-point club. Pushed off point temporarily, but LO6 are back and ready. However, Teletubbies have reinforcements more on hand. Lala getting the first. Will get taken down. But Ricky will find Lala and as a trade. And Dipsy would find the trade as well. Why getting the nade over from left field? And again, Teletubbies with a good spawn able to push straight back onto point.
It's gonna take a lot, Hyper. It's gonna take a lot, and right now, Lala is showing us a lot with 1 and 2. The headshot being his second to open up P1 at that horseshoe at the bar. Teletubbies will say, now it's my turn to sit back, relax, and get a drink. But Legends of Six will say, no, save it all for me. As Legends of Six again, showing us all, showing the world that what they do best. That's getting those breaks, getting them done, and well, between this point and the next point could perhaps tie the knot and end this thing.
Tell you what, Legends of Six can't win it on P1. They will have to rotate to the next point. But if you're Teletubbies, you need every single point available to try and keep this game alive. But Legends of Six are not giving an ounce of space. They continue to pressure Teletubbies. And Teletubbies, I would be honest here, I would sacrifice his last 10 seconds and start pushing around the next point, getting yourself prepped and ready, instead of leaving it open all for Legends of Six, because they're already there, they're already waiting, and they're gonna start feeding the points in.
I mean, you can just tell right now, Hyper Teletubbies are certainly not in this mentally right now. They seem to be just sort of worn out and done with this at that, and Dipsy will go ahead and win that first engagement, but Zeloxity, sort of a meme grenade at that, will win the kill at that and smile to himself from the grave, as Lala will open up into the point and hopefully not allow Legends of Six to get any more time onto the point, but there it is. 33 seconds and counting. 10 more seconds, and we see Legends of Six advance winners round 1.
Yeah, not much that Teletubbies can do except for one big push. 6, 7, 8. One big push. Nothing that Teletubbies can do. And Legends of Six Gold take out the higher seed, and they will advance.
Yeah. Fantastic upset from Legends of Six. I can't say we're super surprised, though, just knowing the nature of how this organization works. But add that, Teletubbies surely sowed some heart, especially in those first 2 maps, but it's unfortunate for them. It seems to be at this point in time, if you're watching this right now and you're trying to scout out what Legends of Six is best at, it's going to be Hardpoint, 100%. If you look at Teletubbies, what they're best at, they're worst at Hardpoint, for sure. And that the problem is with them is, again, they take a really long time to get things started. They really do.
It takes a while, and then when they do find the rhythm, it's I don't know how to describe it except for a little sloppy at times. When it's not an objective base, like when I say objective, I mean like search and destroy and control. You see the coordination from the guys a lot better than they do on Hardpoint, where it's just pure rotation, and it doesn't seem to suit them. So if they had won the control, I feel they would have had a better footing going into the search and destroy on Rio. But hindsight's 2020, you know? As a great man said, aka Max Verstappen, if my mom had balls, she'd be my dad.
It is 2024.
Mm.
You did say it's 2020. Just want to point that out.
Hindsight is 2020, like the vision.
Oh, I thought you said, okay, sorry. I didn't get the reference. I don't watch F1. This is CoD, not F1 Hyper. But with that being said, the one thing... Well, am I hearing some back talk?
Yeah, I'm hearing back. Hindsight 2020, you know 2020 vision, right? That's not even F1 related. That's like normal vision.
Okay. Well, let
vision.
me tell you something, Hyper. Let me tell you something, okay? I'm moving on. So, with Teletubbies, unfortunate. I couldn't agree with you more than what you said earlier, but before your little quote or slogan that I'm sure you want someone to frame on their wall. Teletubbies. I mean, towards the end of that map, they looked like they were a little strong when they started to make that comeback after that second rotation, but right after that, once Legends of Six started to skid through that 200-point mark, it almost seemed like they just had lost it. They lost the mental and even physical component about it because their mechanics were so off. The rotation, like you said, that was the rotation that you absolutely have to win over at P2, just was completely absent. Nobody was home. Tumbleweeds, if you will, from Teletubbies. Not answering to the call.
Yeah, definitely was nothing there for them, and I don't know where they disappeared to, but this wasn't the Teletubbies we saw in the last 3 games. The one that came with the upsets, came with the surprises, came with the confidence. It just, as you said, tumbleweeds and emptiness.
Emptiness out of that, but no need to fear. this is a double elimination. So, that being said, winners round 1, no luck for Teletubbies, but they'll be bumped down to losers, so they still have a chance at that cash prize. Meanwhile, Legends of 6 will improve into winners round 2, which should be hosted within the next few weeks or so. So, fantastic. Well done, Legends of 6. They were just better. They just answered better. They were able to take things that weren't working for them, flip them on its head, and put the pressure right back on the Teletubbies. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for having us on this cast. To the teams, to the players, and to the fans who are watching at home, thank you for all the support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. It shows us that you show some support. Thank you for watching the players. And the players, I'm sure they love all this as well, being shown in the limelight for what I would agree with Hyper in saying was a fantastic series to open up this winners round 1 in the XP COD League. So, that being said, stick around, drop a follow for more updates on casting and whatnot, because I will be around, Hyper and I will be around in XP COD League and ZGL within the next couple of weeks. So, have a fantastic night, and we'll see you all very soon.